Well, I'll
Yeah,
give you a
she
call
said
in
she
the
can
morning.
hear
I'll
it.
call your cell phone.
Is that better?
All right. If y'all need anything, call us.
Yes.
Lonice? Okay.
Yes. I felt like we were at the screen.
Okay.
I'm like across the room. We did have it turned up. So
Okay.
could be a light night tonight. We
Sounds
good to
like
go.
it. Well, Lonice and I were kind of going back and forth against one topic. We can start off with.
Let's go.
The Northwestern football players making a motion to be represented in a union.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't really see the details around it.
I posted an article up in the group page, the Facebook group page, and I would just say basically they are. I don't know if they're trying to negotiate with the NCAA or what, but the idea is that since they are not considered employees of Northwestern University or the NCAA, they cannot participate in basically unilateral talks for negotiations. Now, obviously, the issue would be, what are they negotiating? What do they want? Well, I mean, as to be considered as employees of the school.
Okay.
Yeah, so obviously, well, you would think, obviously, I'm not going to assume, obviously, you would say they want money. But that's not in the language so far of what they're proposing.
And it's just Northwestern? It's not like...
Oh, thus far.
Thus far as Northwestern. Where it's going to get dicey is that if you read the whole article, I didn't really read it all the way through. I read the hot points and skimmed down to the bottom.
Underline. Right.
Yeah, the NFL Player Association is supporting it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
that's when I made the comment, because I commented on the article. I was like, yeah, this is all bad.
Yeah, but doesn't this go back to the situation where, and when Johnny Manziel had the patch, the thing on his arm with I forgot what the letters were.
Players Unite or something like that.
APU. Yeah, APU, and they were talking about, and then also you heard the stories about the high school kids, getting injured but not having, the parents not having health benefits to be able to take care of the kid and things of that nature. Does that all tie back to that stuff?
Well, I mean,
college students trying to protect themselves.
Here's part of my thing on that. When a tennis player blows out a high school tennis player blows out her knee, I mean, we're not talking about some kid that turned pro at 13. We're just talking about a high school tennis player. Since she blows out her knee and nobody says a word. A high school football player who's a 4-star recruit, busts up his ankle, and it's a national tragedy because his NFL prospects are shot.
Right, well, because what you're going to get into, and again with college, is just like where you get into the same speech of, well, athletes should be paid. What you do for one, you have to do for all of them. They are going to bankrupt their universities because it's not in the language now. Money, there was some jargon about you can't talk about player conditions and something or other. But it's football. What player conditions? I mean, yeah, like the dudes at Grambling, yes, wash the mold off the baby's equipment. Got that. But just general playing conditions, it's football. You play out on the grass, the mud, the snow, the sleet. We've had this conversation numerous times.
Why would the NFL entertain that? That's just.
But it's not the whole. But it's not the NFL.
I mean, the players.
It's just the Players Association.
Why would they? Why would they do that?
They said that they support something about. I can't remember what the exact verbiage was, but something about the NFL Player Association was supporting the players' movement and the decisions of what future NFL Player Association members.
Hey, you know what? A for effort, man. They're making an attempt to do something.
Hey, the good thing is, it did come from Northwestern, so you can at least it was well thought out.
I would think so. It
was well thought out. They even have a real union leader involved.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that.
Which again, scary. All bad. Let me go back to this. Is all bad.
I'm not crazy about it, but I'm hesitant to say it's all bad. Like I said, to me, it's real simple. Lonice knows the position. She said the same thing. If you can treat everybody at every level of scholarship sports, which includes athletes playing sports that do not earn money for schools, and their schools do not make money off these sports, if you can treat them on the same accord as the one and doneer at Kentucky, then I'm all good with it. If you can't, you know, it's piling hypocrisy on top of hypocrisy.
Pretty much. Right. Pretty much. I agree with that. Speaking of hypocrisy, how we gonna, like they said today, how we gonna get on Richard Sherman for talking too much, but then we're gonna turn around and get on Marshawn Lynch for not talking enough?
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
Sheesh. I mean, golly, dude. I mean, what?
Is that what they did?
Marshawn Lynch was the biggest story today, and he didn't do anything. It's like he didn't say nothing. But it was oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We were sitting here all day, and like every time ESPN popped up or whatever network we was looking at, it was, and Marshawn Lynch is the big story of the day because he only stayed on the podium for 6 minutes and he really wasn't on the podium. Over to you. I'm like, what the? And the man was just like, look, I don't talk. I'm action. I don't get caught up in all this. Just, you know, and you could tell he was a little overwhelmed a little bit too. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you're not a person, I mean, you know, Ricky Williams was wearing helmets in the locker room. I mean, it is what it is. You are who you are. It's like, you know, Richard Sherman, you could tell he was, I mean, you know, all the questions they ask at the media day, man. Sometimes the things are just off the wall. Just silliness. One lady asked Peyton Manning about did he remember the Super Bowl halftime show? Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson asked him, did he remember how long ago it was? I'm like, really?
I'd like to have seen the look on his face.
He was just like, he started to, come on, Peyton. No, Peyton's politically correct. He was like, 6, 7. Oh, it's 10 years. 10 years.
10 years ago.
All right, don't tell me that. It's 10. You know, he was playing it off like probably in the back of his mind, like, really?
Well, see, when I went up on NFL.com earlier today, the only thing that I saw about media days was Richard Sherman, and you know, it was like catch his best quotes from media day, blah blah blah. He talked and I didn't even click on it to really watch it because there was pandemonium at the job because we were getting 2 inches of snow. So, gotta get everybody out.
Yeah, looks like a lot of people are wanting, for some reason, to force the forecast to be bad for the Super Bowl. The latest forecast is gonna be a chance of snow and all this wind and everything. I've looked at
down to like 20% chance of precipitation.
20%. 20%, and the high is gonna be 38 right now. That's the prediction. Now we got 6 days to go, but like I was looking at that. I was like, there's no snow wrapped around that day. The closest day they have predicted snow was close to 50%. 50% is like Tuesday. Mm-hmm. So, but yet we still talking about, well, if the weather is bad, I'm like, I get that. But
well, who is like, we? I mean, we is the media, which we.
That's exactly what it is.
And you know what the media is still upset about? It's not Miami. It's not New Orleans. You got to pay a whole lot for that. You're in Manhattan, and you got to pay for that sandwich at the deli. Hey, that's a $40 sandwich.
Hey, and I'm not mad at them because I would still be mad about that too. Because it's still gonna be 30. It's still I'm not even got to be the media. I'm talking about me, Pete. I'm saying I would still be mad if I was
lucky for us, the average fan is, because who was it? Somebody was talking about
chilling
that they can't have a game, and they shouldn't have a game in New York because you got to keep the interest of the casual fans when they go to the game. What casual fan do you know is going to the Super Bowl?
Somebody said that?
Yes, it was in another group I was in Facebook, and they were real serious about keeping the casual fan happy.
Don't invite
I don't know any casual fans that are going to the Super Bowl.
Don't invite them to the
casual fans.
Yeah, whatever group page that is, don't bring them to ours.
Don't bring them to
ours. Oh no, not at all.
What's up, D? What, man?
I don't know if you can hear us.
Okay, D?
Oh man, you back to old school outfit, okay?
Man,
old school.
Man, you know, I had to go to church, man, and you know, try to pray some new windows on the warehouse, you know.
Gotcha.
Get some new fans in the warehouse and may see something.
Gotcha. Right. Got that colored glass going on with the
stained glass windows.
Stained glass windows, man.
You see, they don't let them. They don't shave you in here either, man. When they take you, they take you. That's what it is. It's called. I saw Liam Nielsen in here somewhere. Liam Nielsen taking 2.
Good thing you ain't in the room with the ropes and chains.
Yeah, you might want to go to 3. You might want to go to Taken 3 because Taken 2 wasn't good.
It wasn't all that good. Hey, Pete, how's everybody doing tonight, man?
Everybody good.
How are you,
man?
Everybody
well, that's just great. That's good. I'm glad everyone's doing well. But guess what, Pete? We got us a new doohickey.
Okay, what's going on?
Hickey, the GM for the Dolphins.
Yeah, I saw that.
They feed you, hey, listen, they feed you dry jokes in here too. So don't blame me.
Wah, wah. Gotcha.
That's the buzz in Miami today.
Yeah, new doohickey, man.
I see that. We're gonna see what the deal is.
Have you gone down there and questioned him? You know, fed him a little truth.
No, because I
responsibility.
Yeah.
No, I'm just gonna stay away for right now, man.
Okay.
You're not gonna go down there, man.
Well, hey, we got enough responsibility and accountability to go around. So if he starts slacking, we can get him down there to the warehouse.
Yeah, I don't want to start. I don't want to have to go down there and put hands on anybody.
No, don't do that.
I might, I don't even want to do that.
I just wanted to make sure somebody had questioned and vetted this new GM properly, asked him if his mother was a prostitute and all that important information.
I don't think they had to because no one else wanted him, not even the team that he spent 18 years at. Yeah,
right.
So,
right.
Yeah, right. We'll see though. We're happy. It's a new doohickey.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I'm more concerned that as to how many more people and more radio stations can act like Richard Sherman actually just said the most racial epithet ever, at the game. I'm trying to. I'd rather talk about. I'd rather rack my head about that.
I mean,
I'm done racking my head about that.
I'm done. It's nothing to talk about, man. These guys, they need to get over it.
Last week,
they need to get over it. Like I said, he's doing things strategically, but at the same time, he's still being himself in the midst of that. Get over it. Get over it.
Yeah.
He wrote an article in Monday Morning QB. He keeps a blog with that with King's website. I mean, it was pretty cool. He was. I don't know if. I put it this way. I think he's sincere. I got no problem with him. He's basically said, hey, I look back at it, and nobody ever made them. He said a quote. Nobody ever made themselves bigger by belittling somebody else, so I shouldn't have done it. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. You ain't got to repeat that a whole bunch of times. No further apology needed as far as I'm concerned.
The argument against that is, though, by him belittling Crabtree, it almost kind of made him look little too. It's like, why are you, like you said before, Prev, like, why are you on Crabtree if he's not that good?
Right.
So that's why I was like, that's why I do.
Maybe in the scheme he's locked on that side.
Yeah, but that's why I was like, to me, that whole response was more, I guess it's calculated, but at the same time, he had to be given the stage, like Lonice said. They went and put the mic in front of him. He did make a play on the ball. It wasn't like he, didn't. I mean, he actually made a play on the ball. He got a hand on the ball.
Play on the ball.
Right. So that's why you don't. Yeah. So they go to him, and boom, it's Crabtree, and now it's like everybody's flipping out. Hey, one lady in the media day, I don't know what she asked him, but it had to do something along the lines of, how do you feel about women making money for stripping, and do you go to strip clubs or something crazy like that?
Is your mother a prostitute?
It was something silly like that. Really? He was just like, no, I don't engage and throw money at stuff like that. And I believe in equal rights for women, and I believe they have opportunity to do things with their lives. And he gave this whole political, but it was something along the lines of that. I was like, they will ask you anything to try to get some information or get you to say something wrong. I was like,
it's kind of funny but Pete, going back to that line about the quote, in belittling somebody else, it almost seemed to demean himself. And I thought that was really interesting because I read that, and you remember his post-game presser, he said the lion does not concern himself with the opinions of the sheep, of the lamb.
Of the lamb.
Now, y'all didn't tell me that Russell Wilson is drinking a Kool-Aid.
Oh, yeah.
What do you do?
I like Russell
because I'm looking at the ticker now because I got NFL Network on it. They're saying that Russell Wilson gave him high praise, saying that we all know that Richard Sherman is the best corner in the league.
Well, let me finish this point because you came right into something I was saying.
Yeah.
Apparently, dude is a fan. Yeah, I know, right? Apparently, dude is a fan of Game of Thrones because that quote came from Charles Dance's character, Tywin Lannister. Okay, Pete, you know what I'm talking about.
Well, I've heard a similar quote, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Now, in then later on, a few episodes, the same character said, any man who, I'm paraphrasing, any man who has to say he is the king isn't a true king.
Right.
So, I mean, that's kind of always been my personal belief. I know some other people are going to disagree with it, particularly rappers.
I don't. Okay. I don't have a problem with any of it. Like I said,
a problem with it.
But I'm just saying, Richard Sherman is if he wants to say he's the best, I'll say he's the best today. Because next year,
Prime made a video called "It Must Be the Money."
And we know. Oh,
yes, we do.
I mean, I'm just saying.
And that is still a classic.
And like I said, D-backs in different positions have to. I mean, Richard Sherman knows what he's doing. It's okay, everybody. People out there, everybody listening. It's okay.
That's the only point.
He's okay.
Of course it is. That boy got a bachelor's in communications and a master's in communications. Working in this toss up in there somewhere.
He shouldn't have to apologize to anyone.
It's good. People out there, everybody listening to the show is good. We good. Just get over it.
These are just observations.
I just want to say this. Can I just say this one thing, Pete?
What's up?
Basically, it's like some people in America, they look at Richard Sherman and they'll say this. Well, that's not a great example. I mean, what are my kids are supposed to think, and what are my kids going to see? My son sees that, he's going to think that's the way to be. And I just want to say this. Rule number one, it's your job to parent your child.
It's called parenting. That's what it's called.
It's not anyone else's job. It's your job. Charles Barkley said, "Don't deem me a role model just because I played for the NBA." It's your job to say, "Son, don't do that. You see that, but don't do it."
Or like you say, or I'd rather you not do that.
I would rather you not do that. Right.
There's a better way to go about doing it.
If you feel that way about it.
Okay.
Yes.
Or he said some good things and he said some bad things.
I gotta be honest. I flashed back when everybody was going on through all the hype, and I kept going, well, maybe he said something and I missed it. So I had to catch it again. Because all I kept thinking, I said, well, maybe he had that moment when we were discussing earlier on another episode, and Dalla had the, one of these days somebody going to run up into the camera and scream. And I said, maybe he said it and I missed it. I said, did he say that on national television?
You gotta see that, man.
Dollar Jones.
Dollar Jones, man. Dollar Jones. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Maybe he did run up in the camera. We gonna do something.
You say the dollar the profit, man. Dollar the profit.
I was waiting, and then I watched it and said, well, that's not what happened.
We've been pretty good at at predicting things. We predicted Charlie Strong. We predicted the reaction to Charlie Strong.
That's funny.
And now I can't wait till we got after the Super Bowl and then the Winter Olympics coming up, and Deon made that statement about Richard Sherman and Lolo Jones.
I didn't know what you guys are trying to say.
And
Deon, I don't know if you know, but she's she's claimed she's had an interview. She's a virgin, so that's why it was so funny, dude.
That was
right. I knew that about her, but
okay.
I also knew that she was crazy.
That's why I said, how did he get to that point of everything else? Because she clearly has said she's waiting until she gets married.
Which is,
you know how I got to that point?
Because Richard Sherman is the best. That's why.
On a couple
Richard
of you
Sherman's
guys' part.
It was my fault. It was my fault.
It wasn't clear as to what was being said.
Part of that.
It wasn't clear what was being said.
You got to be more patient and get your sources right. That's what you got to do. You jump to the conclusion.
Oh my God!
You know what? You don't need a Twitter account. That's what's it. I'm gonna do you like Herb Edwards. Don't press send. Don't press send.
Don't do it.
Yeah, you know what? That was a great conclusion. I'm gonna be honest. You know, you talk. I'd like to see the tape of that one myself. I'm gonna be flat honest. You know, there was. I passed on One Night in Paris, but Richard and Lolo. Yeah, I watched that.
I was just wondering how that would happen. I'm like, how did that?
Dude, you are off the chain, man.
Oh my God.
Just
for the record, if for some reason they end up dating in the near future,
that's what I'm saying.
Y'all,
we called it right here, all right here, baby.
And here
right
double
here.
Did you hear what he did for his teammates?
Predicting what's up?
He bought them beats, the $25,000 beats or something.
Yes,
like that?
$25,000 gold beats.
Yes, for all of his teammates.
None of them had those already.
I got a charity.
53 dudes. At least one of them had to have them already.
I got a charity that he could donate to.
Not the gold ones, Prev. Not the gold.
And
I might safely say that
you're the only rich dude on that team.
I'm the only DJ on this panel, as it says right now. I could call myself a professional because of the hours I put in. You will never see me go into the 4 figures on a pair of headphones. And he went into 5. $25,000.
I have a charity, man, that he
headphones. These right here.
Donated.
I hear very clearly on these right now.
Anyway, and I have a pair of Beats
they look
by
good
Dre
on you
right
too.
Here. Got Beats by Dre right here.
They
were free with my cell phone.
I can't afford them.
There you go. Free.
No, they were free with my cell phone. Please understand.
You can afford free.
I can afford free.
I can afford free.
You don't want to know what they gave me in the warehouse. It wraps around your ear, and it's kind of like it doesn't have any cushion on the earpiece.
It's like pink trim. This is trim.
It's pink trim because that's from the last host that they held captive. So they bounced her out of here.
Oh God.
But, that would be. Listen. So yeah. Okay.
Guantanamo.
He could have donated to my charity called me.
Right.
Called me.
Right. Called.
Man,
what's up with the game though? What y'all think will go down, man?
What we predicting here?
I mean, I'm rolling. I mean, you know me. The funny thing about it is, of course, I want Peyton to get that second ring. Champ Bailey. Yeah, we all kind of like Champ Bailey a little bit, so he can get his ring, whatever. But I wouldn't be mad if Marshawn Lynch got a ring, man. I mean, but I'm gonna root for Peyton on this one, man. I think they'll figure it out, unless the conditions are just nuts, absolute nuts. I think he'll figure it out, man. They got a lot of weapons. I mean, Seattle can stop people, but they haven't faced.
They can't stop
anybody saying the Broncos haven't probably faced a secondary. I mean, there's no other secondary or other defense collectively like this in the league. But the Seattle Seahawks, I mean, I'm not even putting the Saints as good an offense as the Broncos. They haven't seen Peyton Manning these boys at full potential.
You know what this one kind of looks like to me, and ironically, if you go back and ask me what was my favorite Super Bowl?
The Rams and the Patriots.
No. This reminds me an awful lot of Super Bowl 25 with the Bills and the Giants.
That's going back there.
Well, that was the last. Time that the number one defense and the number one offense faced each other.
And also the last time where you had a team with no Super Bowl experience, no players on the roster who have ever actually been in the Super Bowl. Made a Super Bowl. Now you got the Seahawks, and they don't have any players. But not that any of that really means anything. But
that's what I was going to ask you, Prev. Like that's the thing too. Well, I think Denver will win. Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, I think Denver will win because Seattle.
It just really depends on who can impose their will. I mean,
that's why I'm thinking this game looks an awful lot like 25.
Yeah, I see where you're going with it now.
Teams where it came down to a team with a bunch of big defensive backs.
But do you know why? Because Denver's defense is weak. And Seattle is not.
Their defense was so-so.
They're weak, but they have played better than weak. That's what I'm getting to. It doesn't matter what you're doing in a regular season. These guys have shut down the run 2 straight weeks. Now, can they stop Marsh? They stopped your boy, Mr. Blunt.
Who? Blunt?
And they stopped
Blunt.
Nah, see, we about to have some church in here tonight.
Wait.
Okay, which side you on the argument this week? You was not with Blunt 2 weeks ago. Now you was with Blunt last week. Now you not with Blunt again? I mean...
Yes, Pete. Okay, I did say that Blunt he ran like a madman, which he did, and then they didn't play him, that game. But my overall point still stands as the AFC. Denver is the strongest team look at the AFC. Just look at the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just look at the Patriots. Look at our division, our very own division.
I mean, I know they're weak. I know the division is weak. The division's weak every year.
But Pete, I don't know about it. Well, not every time.
But we ain't the Dolphins, man.
Pete, that's what I'm trying to say, man. How much of an incredible feat was it for them to beat the Patriots, man? It wasn't that much.
I agree.
And all I'm saying is that if this Super Bowl, Marshawn Lynch and Seattle Seahawks offense, okay, probably are going to tear Denver Broncos defense apart.
I would agree with you with Marshawn Lynch. I'm not going as far as the rest of that offense. I'm not going that far.
Well, you have old boy at the helm. I mean, Denver's defense is not that tough.
The past few weeks.
Denver's defense is not that good to withstand.
Who has played? Let me go back. He has played pedestrian.
No, I'm with you.
The past 8 weeks almost.
I'm with you.
And I like
you.
Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
I like Russell Wilson, but what he's not going to do is pick apart anybody's secondary right now.
Really?
Because who's he throwing to?
I'm gonna say it like this. I'm with you, D, on that because if they stick with the run game, it's gonna be
Percy Harvin for a play.
No, stop it.
Okay. So 1 play, 1 touchdown. And then what?
The sad part about that, it might be a true statement, dude.
Okay, 1 play, 1 touchdown.
If he run too fast, he might get a concussion.
Here's what I'm trying to say. Here's what I'm trying to bring it home to. Okay,
go ahead.
I got to make sure I bring my point home. Here's the point.
You did just go to church, right?
I did.
You gotta bring it home.
I got to bring it on home.
The preacher say, bring it home.
Bring it on home, all right? Here's the deal, all right? How did the Denver Broncos survive all season? Their offense.
Yeah.
Well, can Seattle keep up with the points?
Deon mentioned the weakness of the AFC East, and I was like, well, I can't really speak on the 70s Steelers, but if you look at the 80s 49ers, I mean,
with the Rams,
the old NFC West, but they only had 4 teams, including
Rams,
the 49ers.
Rams,
Saints.
And the
no, this is before the Seahawks was in the West. Seahawks was still AFC. This is the Rams, Falcons, Saints, and 49ers.
Oh, yeah. Rams, Falcons. That's right, the Falcons. Man, they were in the West because
that was once coined as the worst division in the history of professional sports.
It probably was.
Yes, and the 49ers won how many Super Bowls off that division? So, I mean, it's interesting that Deon mentioned that because basically history dictates that, with probably the exception of the 90s Cowboys, dynasties are born out of bad divisions.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't disagree with you at all, Deon. I mean, you can make that. You silly Prev, man.
That was a good point, Prev.
I'm just saying.
Oh my God! But you make a good point, though. You do not know the barometer of how well the defense is playing, but what we see. I'm just saying they're playing better. And as long as they continue to play, as long as they're not doing what they did against the Cowboys.
Okay, here's what I'm telling you. Here's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, so
staying at home.
Okay.
Just keep it in front of you just a little bit.
Right. Like as long as they made the trip to New York, unlike the trip they made to Dallas, where everybody was like, "We're gonna stay here in Denver."
And New England.
I'm gonna say this. Not packing the defense for this game. Okay.
I'm gonna say this to you. Be ready and be prepared, and don't be shocked when Peyton does this thing on that defense. And I'm telling you, he will.
Yes,
I know he will.
He's gonna turn the ball over.
If you told me to pick a what I really think is going to happen, I think he's going to pick them apart.
Yes.
But it all starts with one thing, and one very, 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 very important, because this is something that Deon, you make the point about the defense maybe playing against certain competition. It doesn't matter who you block, as long as you block them. That offensive line has been blocking their butts off of Peyton Manning. And if he can get a little bit of time, even off of jams, he's going to pick them apart. He's Peyton Manning.
Right. He's been touched. Yeah. He's been touched. I don't even know if he didn't even get touched.
I think he got touched one time in the game, and that was like a push in the AFC game. And I know the Patriots don't have premier pass rushers, and they're not Seattle's guys. If they can block them.
Yeah. Right now, the Patriots don't have economy pass rushers.
And Prev,
if they can block them though, man, it's gonna be a long.
And I want to say,
it's gonna be long.
I want to plug this in there too. I'm tired of people trying to, have this conversation, this debate about what makes you great. Is it the rings? Is it the championship?
Go for it.
Your legacy as a quarterback. Right. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm gonna say this. Peyton Manning is the best quarterback I've seen in my lifetime. While I've been alive and while I've seen the football game, the game of football, he is, to me. That's it. He's the greatest. He's the GOAT. He is
y'all know my argument about that. Y'all know my argument about that. I don't get caught up in all the certain rings and certain things like that. Me and Prev we talked about this for years. Even before, I think we talked about this before we started looking at the Bradys and the Mannings and how we admire a guy. He was in the dorms talking about John Elway,
right?
And how at that point in time when we was in school, I mean, like when we came out, it was like this dude by himself. I can't even name, but maybe one or two other people on that Broncos teams in the '80s by himself carried that franchise, and then got a little help and won 2 in a row. He took the 3 by himself. So I get what you're saying, because I don't get caught up, because you got to have a complete team to do something to win. I was just telling, I was saying earlier today.
Remember, we were in the dorms and we were joking, and even Ray Marsh was sitting in there with it. We were like, man, if Elway could get 1 ring,
one
ring,
he would be in that conversation. He would be in that conversation. And the biggest thing I look at it like, I'm with you, D, for the simple fact that I'm not going to discount all those losses in the playoffs, virtue of the fact that I had made this point a while ago. I said there's only been 5 teams represented the AFC in 14 years of Super Bowls.
Yeah.
5 teams.
Right.
That means the elite of the elite stands. The Patriots, the Steelers, the Colts, the Raiders snuck in there, and the Ravens.
Yeah.
Right. So when you talk about, I play against Tennessee and Jacksonville and all these teams all year round, and then my first game, second round, is against the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
My first game, second round this year is against the Ravens. I mean, you might lose a couple games.
Right.
And so, I look up.
It's the thing about losing to the Chargers that gets people's goats, though.
But here's the thing. This is the only weakness we ever put on Peyton Manning from the standpoint of the 3-4 defense. And what did Pittsburgh run? 3-4. What did the Chargers run?
3-4. And when the Patriots were beating them,
when the Patriots was beating them, they ran the 3-4.
My man Peyton Manning said, "You know what? I hear what you're saying about the neck, the spine, and all of that."
He said,
I'm gonna go
out here and throw 55 on you.
I'm gonna go out here and have the best regular season anyone has ever seen. Okay.
And sat the last half of the game.
Right. Who's done that? And he's not a scrambling quarterback, people. The man can't run fast. My dad can beat him to the mailbox. You seen the commercials? You seen the commercials?
Oh my God!
We're not talking about a scrambler. We're talking about a Steve Young. Montana had some wheels on him a little bit too.
Yeah, he did. He was
Kelly could
Montana was a good athlete.
Yes, Kelly could get out the pocket. You know what I mean?
His early years, Kelly could go.
Manning in his early years, still, he really couldn't have gotten. Listen, this man can't run.
Pocket.
He's a pocket passer.
He's
set
a
the
classic
league
throwback
on fire, and people had the unmitigated gall to say that if he loses this Super Bowl, he's not a great quarterback. You serious?
Right.
I'm serious.
Right.
Boy,
I'm with you, man. I'm with you, D.
It's hard to sleep at night. I can't think about that.
Oh gosh!
I can sleep at night over that one.
D, I'm with you, man.
We got what, 2 or 3 calling the Broncos here.
I'm going Broncos, man.
Broncos. Okay. I'll take Seattle. I don't care.
It's all good.
You don't have to. We're not.
None of us have a dog in this. None of us have a dog in this fight.
I was like, I don't have a dog in this fight. At the end of the day, it's not going to affect me.
I basically, I'm like I said, I'm gonna stick to my historical reference. Y'all know me. I'm a history guy. This one looks like a game we saw. Yeah, a long time ago. It could go either way. I think it's gonna be tight. I don't think you're gonna have 50 points scored total.
I mean, when we've seen that though,
not 50 points, really.
Mm-mm.
If you're anywhere in the ballpark of being right about this score for this weekend's game, if you're like you said it'll be what, in the 20s or something,
58, two teams in the upper 20.
Call it 27-23, something like that. Right?
Something like that.
Okay, if you're even in the ballpark, okay, if you're close, if you're dead on, I'm going with. But if you're in the ballpark of this score of this weekend's game, I want you to do the brackets for me so I can submit it to one.
Look, man,
$1 billion.
I'm just saying. I'm sitting up here watching.
Oh God.
I'm gonna do a bracket. I'm gonna let my baby's 9-year-old daughter pick it.
So, Pete, I was just thinking about that. We should let Prev kids pick it.
If I pick it, I'm gonna mess it up. She probably pick it perfect.
The one year I won the bracket, it was the most ridiculous plan that I ever had.
I've never won a bracket. And I think I'm pretty versed in college basketball.
I had never done a bracket before. I hadn't watched any college basketball that season. And I sat down and watched ESPN's little promo show that they do for the bracket.
Mm-hmm.
And I went through and I picked, literally, I did the total female thing. I picked off of colors. Team colors that I like.
Dude,
and my tiebreaker. No, wait. And my tiebreaker, but here's the real ignorant part. My tiebreaker was the number of cute players. If I liked both team colors, if there was a team that had 3 cute players over 2, we went with that. I went off of colors for schools, but if I liked both colors, if they were competing, if I liked both colors, then I went off of the cute. I went off of the cuteness of the team.
That is unbelievable.
Absolutely unbelievable.
I gotta go.
I do not recommend it at all. I do not recommend that at all.